Can you see and hear me okay?
Yes, yes, clear. Maybe it's an
Wonderful.
issue from my live. I would create another link. You can join again another link because this link we are not going to be live. Maybe it's
Oh,
an issue. I will share
it
you
shows
link.
that it's live on my side,
Yes, what you
but
say?
I see it shows that it's live from my side, but I don't know if that's accurate.
In, in my side, I would not be see we are being live. It's sad that we cannot go to be live.
Oh,
No.
I don't
Okay,
know.
okay. Hello and assalamu alaikum. Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. This is me Fatima Technology Wali and I am a lead facilitator in Rehan School Lahore campus. Today our guest is Ma'am Jennifer. So first of all, I warmly welcome to Ma'am for my interview and we are very excited to learn about her journey, experiences, challenges and the valuable lessons and she has gained along the way. And Ma'am Jennifer, thank you very much for joining us today. And it's a pleasure to have you here. And we are looking forward to an insightful conversation that will inspire and benefit our audience. So thank you very much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and participate in these. Thank you for the invitation.
Okay, ma'am. So first of all, my first question is that please give me an introduction of yourself.
Sure. My name is Jennifer Stout. I am a medical massage therapist. I'm a birth doula. I'm a speaker and teacher. I am also a writer. I'm an author of my own children's book called The Song of My Heartbeat, and I am a contributing author in a book called Legacy in Ink that is a Guinness World Record holding accomplishment. And I'm also a wife. I'm a mother of five and a stepmom to one. Um, I have wonderful siblings and their children, and I live a very full life. I mean, busy, but not overly busy. So um, just take it one day at a time.
Okay, great introduction. You have a great family and great husband and great siblings. Nice of you. So my next question is that what do you know about who is web developer?
What do I know about what?
Who is web developer?
I can't say I know anything about him. I'm not familiar with the name unless I possibly see it. That might sometimes I can't. Sometimes it takes me seeing a name before I recognize it. So perhaps that's the problem. I don't
Okay.
know. Why don't you tell me about it, and then I'll tell you if I'm familiar.
Okay, no issue. So my next question is that what is your profession?
Yeah, professionally, I am a massage therapist and a birth doula, which is I'm not in the medical side of birth, but I'm in the information, emotional, and physical support side of things. So I help women go through their pregnancy, their labor, and then early postpartum season. And I do education for all of my clients, whether it's massage or doula. And so I kind of naturally went into the teaching side of things just over time. And I do a lot of different things. I love a lot of different outlets for creativity. And I definitely think that is reflected in the way that I spend my time and my work um, balance. So
Okay. So my next question is that what is your goal?
my goal is to help people feel more connected to themselves, to others, and to God. We are an interwoven person. That's why my company is called Interwoven Therapeutic. I believe that we are a body, spirit, and soul, not just one, not just two, but all three. And I want to see the whole person in front of me and not just a collection of symptoms or the energy that they've brought into the room in that particular day. I want to take all of that and say, who's the person in front of me and how can I best help that whole person and not just their body, not just their emotional state, not just whatever specific thing they're coming in um, describing. I want to see the whole picture um, and treat the whole person if possible.
Okay, great. And what is your tell everything? Which thing would you like most in over the world?
Um, Something that I would love people to understand is that life can be so much more full and more rewarding when you can have honest vulnerability with safe people. Not everyone is safe enough to be vulnerable with, um, but really that's where I think the most rewarding experiences of life are tend to be the places that hurt you the most, and it either makes you bitter or it makes you better. And I hope that I can contribute to a culture that helps make people better and get rid
Okay,
of the bitterness.
okay, you can hear me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so my next question is that tell me your favorite hobbies.
Ooh, my favorite hobby is when I first met my husband, my only hobby was Lindy Hop, swing dancing, and going to a ballroom and just having fun with movement in a non graphic way, I guess is a way to say it. There's so much of American culture. Dancing is obscene. And I didn't want to partake in any of that like
Okay,
club culture. And I love to dance. So I do a lot of singing around my house. My house is basically a musical with singing and dancing for whatever is happening. Um, but Lindy Hop is one of my favorite hobbies that I've ever had, even though it's not one that I do regularly now. Um, I'm too tired to go out of the house at 9 o'clock at night. That's just too late. I've got I've got a bed calling my name, so I haven't done it in a long time. But that's one of my favorite hobbies is just dancing in general, singing, being silly with my kids. I love to write. I've enjoyed painting lately. As someone who's never taken an art class in my life, that feels challenging but in a good way. I feel like I don't know how to draw, I don't know how to paint, and yet every time I do, there's something beautiful that comes out of it. So those are some of my favorite hobbies and pastimes.
I think one of your most favorite hobby your husband. Am I right?
Yes, it's so funny. I was just at the grocery store a couple of days ago, and my husband and I were both there with our three youngest. And there was a couple that said, "Oh, you have three kids?" And I said, "No, that we've got two more that aren't here. We have five." And the gentleman looked at me and he says, "They have TVs at Walmart, to spend your time doing that." And
Yes,
I
yes.
turned and I said, "Yeah, but he's more fun." So,
Okay.
um, it's not lost on me that I have a larger than average family, but I don't care. They are my blessings. They are my
I think
legacy. They are,
I think Allah is a great blessing to you for the you have too much good husband and good child. So I think that is a very great blessing from Allah.
yeah. Well, I do too. I think there's a lot of people who don't like when people have more than two kids, and that is your opinion, and I don't have to share it. So, congratulations. Thanks for sharing your opinion, but I can choose to not let that wound me just because you have a different perspective. So, I love my kids, and it's more than I thought I would have. Um, but each kid I didn't know I needed have been just such a blessing. And my youngest is my only daughter, and she's named after my mother and my grandmother. And I've had that name picked out since I was very, very young. And I had really had to surrender that at the foot of the cross and just say, okay, God, like I recognize that I've had four boys. I don't want to be pregnant again, and I won't have a girl. And it's sad, but it's okay. And I really surrendered that to God. And then about a year after I really, really surrendered that to him, maybe 2 years, he was like just nudging me that maybe I'm going to bless you with something you didn't know you needed, or you were okay not having. And then I got pregnant almost right after my mom had passed away. So my daughter's birthday is almost exactly a year from the passing of my mother. And it was such an emotional blessing that I didn't recognize that myself, as well as my family, my siblings and dad, were going to need. So each child has been a blessing in a different way, and I think culture needs to remember that that's what kids are. They're not a burden, they're a blessing. Are they burdensome? Sure, but the burden doesn't outweigh the blessing.
Okay. So my next question is that who is your motivation? I think your husband is your motivation.
My motivation in my profession is really to help people. I have a servant heart. I want to help people connect dots that they wouldn't otherwise be able to connect. And that's really my mission, is to educate through compassion and and functional goals that are manageable, that you can actually build on, to have a better, more full functioning body, less pain in your body, more agility, all of those things. So, but yes, my primary motivation for all the things I do is my family, my husband and my children. And that's because of the wisdom that I was able to inherit from my parents, that they did a lot of things right. They weren't perfect by any means, but they did a lot of things right, and they gave us all of the tools that we needed to succeed in life. So I want to give those tools to other people, my children, my husband, my community, as well as my clients.
Okay. So my next question is that what habits have contributed the most to your success?
Failures, in a word. Failures, when you learn from them, are your best teaching moments. I think that when we really take the time to learn from our failures, it makes the next attempt that much better. The things that I've learned from the most are physically doing it, to have that tactile understanding. When I went through ethics training, we did role playing where two people were given a scenario to act out in front of the class, and then we were able to observe what the conflict in real time, and then role play it out. What are good boundaries in a situation like this? What might that look like? And then discuss. So I really found that hands-on learning, is more beneficial for me. So I try to utilize that with my own kids and my own clients as well.
Okay, and in my era, I would be sad that no failure is a being a part of our life, that we learn everything. But some people behaviors can teach us very much more things, and we should be learned from very much by other behaviors, because I don't want to say that that like this I would be a good person. No, I am not a good person. My behavior is too much. I thought that my behavior is good for everyone, and everyone said my behavior is too much good. But still, the behavior of other people will not be good for me, and both of people are being too much rude and did not answer me. If I have more much struggle from the people, and I will do my best for everything, but
Yeah.
I think that this is not a good thing that I will try good, but the persons are being back to me that no, I say no. So
Mhm.
I would be think that if you are a good person, so please throw the people from your life in the garbage. I hope you
Well,
understand this is a very
one
great
of the
sentence.
yeah, one of the
And
things I tell that when
I would
someone shows
not
you
be
who they
think I would I would not be think that I would say these words for other people. But in my question, I would be explain this like that failure is a great part of our life because we learn from everything. But the behavior of other people, we learn more much things. So I would be think to others, please stay away from the negative people and please stay away from other sides of people that will be broke your hearts into pieces and we will be not much good for everyone. So failure is
yeah,
a very important for like this. Am I right?
no, you're completely right. I think that we can either choose to stay down when we get knocked down, or we can choose to get back up. I'm a Christian, and the Bible tells us that no one is good, no, not one, that we are all flawed sinners, and that we are all separated from the ability to have the fullness of who we were intended to be because of that sin. And so I don't have to dislike a person just because they have a bad action. But when someone shows me who they really are, what is your character? I don't have to pretend that the mask you put on is the real you because you've shown me what's underneath. I can allow myself to have those boundaries and say, no, thank you. I don't want to participate, or I choose not to engage with you. You can be angry and yell at me, but I can choose to not yell back. I can say, I'd love to have a conversation with you, but I won't be yelled at. So if you're not able to calm your tone down, then I'm going to have to walk away. I will not be yelled at. That when my husband and I first got married, we had ground rules on how to fight. We literally had conversations about how are we fighting fair and what's considered unfair fighting. We don't yell at each other, we don't name call, we don't scream at each other. There's no intentionally trying to hurt each other. So if that's the character I want to have, and that's the character of the people I want around me, when I see something inconsistent with that, it's a much easier to spot. For the people who have been around unhealthy people their whole life, well, that's what's comfortable. And so the putting boundaries in place and having the ability to say no as a complete sentence is more uncomfortable than the dysfunction is. So uh, having grace for people in different seasons of life and different points of healing, I think is important. That your character doesn't get to change mine. Not you specifically, but like, if someone's nasty to me, I can choose not to be nasty back because I choose to not be a nasty person. I choose to have joy and hope and peace, not because those things are easy, but it's a choice. And I will look for them in any situation, in any circumstance. So I think surrounding yourself with like minded people is really important, and recognizing if the trajectory that you want is different than the people you're around. Well, if you want something different, you're going to have to act different, which means the people who are comfortable with you the way you are probably are not going to like the changes that you're making. And you may lose some friendships. You may lose some people that you care about because they don't like the new version of yourself that you're trying to make authentic. And that's okay. Sometimes people are only with us for a season.
And sometimes people are only usage of you and you people use for you for only on work.
Hmm. Absolutely. That's why it's important to have caution with who you bring in your inner circle. There's a lot of people who get betrayed by their, business associates or their financial advisors, or, things like that. And it's like, trust but verify. Like, what are the what's the evidence that they are the person that they say they are, and is there congruency in their character, what they say, what they do, and what they say they do. Those all three make up integrity. So choose to look for people who have that integrity, um, and be cautious of people that you feel like that's a red flag. That's something that is very, I need to stop and observe what's happening or what this person is doing and see if it's congruent with their words, and the mission that we are on together.
Okay, and one advice, my thought is that, not advice. My thought is that my behavior is too much good if I behave good for one person, but in the return, he did not good for me and his behavior is not good. And he said no. So I am very feel afraid and I feel very sad for other people than me because I will do everything for someone and people can do everything for else someone, but in the return you cannot be find a great thing and a great goodbye note. You cannot receive all this. You
Mm-hmm.
other said other no response. He can't said. He said otherwise he said be no. He only be like silent and no response. So my heart feels sad and I would be say to myself being strong and you can meet any other people in your life and don't be sad. You are good in my eyes and I would be think that one day you will find me and all about this. So this is my thought and what would you
Yep.
advise to me?
Well, I would say that don't be afraid to feel the emotion that you feel, but don't stay stuck. That's what I tell people, that you want to be able to feel the emotion fully that you're experiencing. If it's sadness, if it's disappointment, if it's grieving a future that you thought you were going to have and now it looks different, um, feel that, grieve it, feel it, and learn something from it. What did you learn about yourself? Um, if you're doing all of the things for everybody else, is that because of a wound inside of you that's perhaps a people pleaser, or you overextend, you don't say no when you should, you just want to say yes to everything, and so you feel depleted with all of your yeses. um, I would just say, feel what you're feeling and recognize how you got there. If there was any part of it to take accountability, like I opened up my heart too much too fast, or I trusted someone in a way that they didn't show me they could be trusted. Those are things that you can learn about yourself to help you avoid staying in a pattern. Um, something that we see in America is that there's a lot of single moms who choose partners that are not loving of them, but loving of what they can give them. And so I think that that's something that there's a lot of women who are looking for love in all the wrong places, if you will. And instead of looking for the right man, they're looking for the man who can fill the hole or the wound that they're aware of. And I think the ability to feel what you're feeling, process what you're feeling, and move past it is a lost art that helps us identify how to avoid falling into those same hardships, in the future.
Okay, great advices for everyone. So my next question is that give me a great advice and message for me.
Well, I don't know you beyond this interview, but I would say that you seem to be a very expressive person and you seem to be very engaging. And I would say lean into that. You want to ask different questions than other people, and you want to have an interaction different than other people, and lean into that. Your differences are what make you uniquely beautiful inside and out. And rather than trying to fit in, continue to stand out. There are some rooms that you're just not meant to feel comfortable in because it's not the room that you're meant to be in. And when you are in the right room with the right people, you'll feel it. That's what I felt when I did the Guinness World Record thing. It was a room of 142 authors, and I've never felt like I belonged more with a group of people who are like minded, similar character, different pathways for what they're doing, but the intention behind it is the same. So, um, if you don't feel comfortable in a room with people, maybe it's not the room or the people you're supposed to be in a room with. And just continue to work on learning and growing, being curious. What does the opposite perspective hold? And how can that help me better understand my own perspective?
Hey, you give me a very great message. And in the last, I convey a message for everyone. Stay blessed, stay happy, being not be sad, and go to your work and fulfill your dream. Keep praying, and may Allah bless you with all great wishes for everyone, and great wishes for Ma'am Jennifer. So
Well, thank you
this
so
is
much. I really appreciate being on here. It's been a lovely interview. So thank you for asking such wonderful questions. Very thought provoking.
thank you very much. And in the last, I would be say only keep growing yourself. Do not depend for anyone, and keep growing yourself. So, ma'am, once again, thank you very much for joining us today. And you will share very insightful and valuable experience. It has truly been an inspiring conversation. We wish I will continue success in everything, and I will do, and being you too. So, thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us today. Hope
Thank you.
you have a great day, and I have a great night. So, thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us
Thank you very much.
today. Nice to
Have a
meet
good rest
you.
of your day. You as well. Yes. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a thank you.